May 17, John 9, 1 to 41. Verse 1. And passing on, he saw a man blind from birth. 2. And asked him, his disciples, saying, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that blind he should be born? 3. Answered Jesus, neither this man sinned nor parents his, but that should be manifested the works of God in him. 4. Me it behooves to work the works of him who sent me, while day it is. Comes night, when no one is able to work. 5. While in the world I may be the light, I am of the world. 6. These things having said, he spat on the ground, and made clay of the spittle, and applied the clay to the eyes of the blind man. 7. And he said to him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is interpreted, sent. He went therefore, and washed, and came seeing. 9. The therefore neighbors and those who saw him before that blind he was, said, Not this is he who was sitting and begging? 9. Some said, He it is, but others, like him he is. He said, I am he. 9. They said therefore to him, How were opened your eyes? 11. Answered he and said, A man called Jesus clay made and applied to my eyes, and said to me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. Having gone and washed, I received sight. 12. They said therefore to him, Where is he? He says, I know not. 13. They bring him to the Pharisees, who once was blind. 14. Now it was Sabbath, when the clay made Jesus, and opened his eyes. 15. Again therefore asked him also the Pharisees, how he received sight. And he said to them, Clay he put on my eyes, and I washed, and I see. 16. Said therefore of the Pharisees some, This man is not from God, for the Sabbath he does not keep. Others said, How can a man, a sinner, such signs do? And a division was among them. 17. They say to the blind man, Again, you what say concerning him? For he opened your eyes. And he said, A prophet he is. 18. Did not believe therefore the Jews concerning him, that blind he was, and received sight, until they called the parents of him who had received sight. 19. And they asked them, saying, This is your son, of whom you say that blind he was born? How then now does he see? 20. Answered them his parents, and said, We know that this is our son, and that blind he was born. 21. But how now he sees, we know not. Or who opened his eyes, we know not. He is of age, him ask. He concerning himself shall speak. 22. These things said parents his, because they feared the Jews, for already had agreed together the Jews, that if anyone him should confess to be the Christ, put out of the synagogue he should be. 23. Because of this, parents his said, He is of age, him ask. 24. They called, therefore, a second time the man who was blind, and said to him, Give glory to God. We know that man this a sinner is. 25. Answered therefore he, and said, If a sinner he is, I know not. One thing I know, that blind being now I see. 26. And they said to him again, What did he to you? How opened he your eyes? 27. He answered them, I told you already, and you did not hear. Why again do you wish to hear? Also do you wish his disciples to become? 28. They railed at, therefore, him, and said, You are disciple his, but we of Moses are disciples. 29. We know that to Moses has spoken God, but this man we know not whence he is. 30. Answered the man and said to them, Indeed this a wonderful thing is, that you know not whence he is, and he opened my eyes. 31. But we know that sinners God does not hear. But if anyone God-fearing be, and the will of him do, him he hears. 32. Ever it was not heard that opened anyone the eyes of one blind, having been born. 33. If not were this man from God, he could do nothing. 34. They answered and said to him, In sins you were born holy, and you teach us? And they cast him out. 35. Heard Jesus that they cast him out, and having found him, said to him, You believe on the Son of God? 36. Answered he and said, Who is he, Lord, that I may believe on him? 37. And said to him Jesus, Both you have seen him, and he who speaks with you, he is. 38. And he said, I believe, Lord, and he worshipped him. 39. And said Jesus, For judgment I into this world came, that they that see not might see, and they that see blind might become. 40. And heard of the Pharisees these things, those who were with him, and they said to him, Also we blind are. 41. Said to them Jesus, If blind you were, you would not have sin, but now you say, We see, the therefore sin of you remains.